windsurfing was my sport at that time, and came into the Dana Point Harbor, and this guy pulled up on this newfangled bicycle, and he got off and he started explaining it, and he said, "Yeah, this is called a mountain bike." And I thought, wow, this sounds great. So a day later, I went down to the bike store. I said, "Do you have one of those things called a mountain bike?" And I bought this bike, and I took off across the street. We had an area called the Tomato Patch, and it was just a bunch of hills where they farmed tomatoes. And so I took it off and I started riding, and I went over to the biggest hill and I started going up it, and I go, "I can't make it. This is a mountain bike. What's the deal?" It wasn't the mountain bike, it was me. I was in horrible shape. So that's what started my whole adventure, you know, of mountain biking. I fell in love with it. I tried every day harder and harder to make this hill. I went to this one single hill, and it was quite steep, and I would try and try and try until I finally made it. And that's how it started for me. It wasn't the downhill, it was the uphill. I wanted to make the uphill.
Actually, the X team, the real group from the beginning on, they were all windsurfers. And we were windsurfing everywhere, on lakes, oceans, you name it. We went there just to sail. And then we went to they did this world record for speed sailing in the ponds in Palm Springs. And if you want to go to the bathroom, either way you walk 3 or 4 miles, or you need a bike. So Tom gave me his bike, and there was a mountain bike. He told me it's a mountain bike. What the hell is a mountain bike? So I took off, and I was in love the first day. The next week later, I bought a stump jumper. I just got right into it. From then on, I was riding mountain bikes.
For me, there's 2 things. Pain, lots of pain. And there's always different kinds of pain too. Years ago, we made a trail that was called Misery. We called it Misery because our legs were so scratched up and bleeding, and every time we rode it, you would just get a scratch on top of a scratch, but you couldn't stop going down and riding it. It was so much fun. The chaparral was so thick, and it took years to really bust this trail through. But I remember going on the downhill after climbing excruciating single track to get to the top, and then starting to go downhill, and these bushes just tearing off your other scabs, and you're just going, "I'm having so much fun, but it hurts so bad." That's the kind of pain I'm talking about. And that's the kind of pain I like. And then the fun, euphoric feeling, you know, when you're in good enough shape that you ride up a really big hill, and then you get to go downhill all the way, and you've earned it, and you get to play, and you're not out of breath. And that's what I like. As our group got bigger, we needed more and more area to start riding, so we just started developing our own trails.
We all worked on the trails. We used to carry machetes and sheaths on our bikes, and some of the guys even brought heavier power tools, weed whackers and heavier garden tools, shovels, and we'd leave them down in the bushes.
Well, the hardest part when you in the growth, it's higher than up to 10 feet. You can look ahead where you're going to make the next turn. It's very difficult. So I was walking back and forth to find making nice S-turns in there. And the team came from the other side. We were meeting in the canyon. They were working like animals. I mean, that was hard work with a machete, like in the jungle. That's why I call it Ho Chi Minh Trail.
People named them the name, like if they scouted the trail or they found the passage through, they would sometimes name the trail after themselves, or the group would name them after that person. Other names like absolutely not Mike's trail, for example, was because he never ever worked on it.
No, not me.
He might.
Well, yeah.
He might, but not me.
After we named one trail after him, it's like we're not going to name like any more after him. And so this absolutely was not going to be Mike's trail.
Oh, I was against it.
Yeah, you were against it. Yeah, it was kind of steep and hard, and it's not something Mike likes to ride on, steep, hard trails. So it couldn't have been his trail.
No. After you made it, then I wanted to be on the whole thing.
Yeah,
It was
you
my
did.
trail.
Okay, so still not absolutely not your trail.
One time I was riding with Chris Smith, and we're doing the Dan Juan, and your dad had been up there weed whacking, and he just dropped his clothes, his bike, the weed whacker, everything was like on the middle of the trail. Really in the middle of the trail. And I go, that's Jared's bike. I wonder where he's at. Like that. So we searched everywhere, and then Chris had his phone. So he called and we go, Jared, you all right? Oh yeah, I got really tired, and I walked down to the street and had Renee pick me up. Are you gonna like hide your bike or something? He just left it in the middle of the trail. I think this went public because the state park came in here, which they leased the land from Pendleton. And they came in here and said, we need to make sure that this is state park because they were trying to make the toll road through.
And when they started drilling and doing soil samples, we would meet these crews out there and we would ask them what was going on. And they said, oh, nothing. And we found out that the toll road was routed through our park.
I mean, there would be a swash, 150 feet wide and concrete all the way up this valley. They'd take out old trees, they would take out habitat, that would just ruin the place.
And so the state park came in here and said, hey, let's put signs up, let's make sure that this place is represented as a state park, and basically that's what they did.
So more people that know about the area and what it means to be in an area that hasn't been paved over yet, they start to protect it and pretend it's theirs and start to use it.
Wednesday nights, we always ride on Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night, it's like church, just like Sunday. We ride Wednesday nights at 5 and Sunday mornings at 8. And usually it's on the internet, our website that my buddy Butch hosts. And it posts where we're riding and what the food is. And we always eat.
So Slick, you're doing mac and cheese. Yeah. You're doing lasagna?
On Friday night.
On Friday night.
I'm doing Dan Zanya, he's doing macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
And
Dan Zanya.
And I'm doing berry cobbler.
I saw there's leftovers, so
I think it's kind of 50-50, the ride and the food. I mean, it's sort of all about the ride, but it's actually all about the food. I mean, we go for the ride to stay for the food. And it was kind of an excuse to get together with good guys and have some we have some of the most awesome food on Wednesday nights that you can't believe.
But being with your buddies and just doing this, look, just what we do afterwards is as important as what we do on the trail. And you've heard the term verandarizing, which we coined.
Verandarizing, it's something we do after every ride. It's part of riding. It's what we do. We ride, we come here, we relax afterwards, we shoot the crap, and we have a couple beers, and that's why we're all such close friends, because we've been doing it for years.
favorite trail in the whole country?
trail in the weed patch. Well, now let me just go here. I named it the weed patch. That's me.
Up on top?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. We've been bike riding today.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.